today's lesson comes to you from the Beatles and from the power of the sun. So we're going to talk today about energy in cells. And what you need to understand is that the basis of all this energy starts with the sun. And so we have the sun shining down on Earth, shining its wavelengths of energy. And we have these amazing wavelength sponges called plants. And these plants absorb these wavelengths of energy and turn them into food for us. This process is called photosynthesis. So what I want to do is just take a moment to go over the process of photosynthesis and how that process then goes to support another process that we use in our own bodies called cellular respiration. So we got to start with plants and knowing a little bit of their anatomy. So plants are made of three major parts. You got roots, you got stems, you got leaves. The roots are really important because that's where the first ingredient of photosynthesis comes from, water. The roots are going to absorb water from the soil around them or hydroponically from around them. So the water is going to come up from the roots and it's going to travel up through these tubes called xylem. X-Y-L-E-M is how you say xylem. And the xylem carries the water up the plant to the leaves. The second ingredient that is needed by plants is called carbon dioxide. So I'm going to fill my balloon with a little carbon dioxide. There it is, some carbon dioxide for you. Oh, there it is. And so carbon dioxide, like I have carbon dioxide coming out of my mouth, leaves are going to use special structures called stomata. Now, these are like leaf mouths, and they open and close with these special structures called guard cells. So when a leaf needs to take in carbon dioxide, it opens up its guard cells and the stomata, and the carbon dioxide travels in. So then it travels into the chloroplast, which is a very important structure, and the water goes to the chloroplast. Now, what is a chloroplast, Ms. Emers? I got to tell you, chloroplasts are really important. They're tiny little green organelles that are found only in plant and algae cells. They're green because they have a special pigment called chlorophyll. Now, if we were to look at a chloroplast, it would look kind of like this. It's really small. It's kind of bean-shaped. And if you were to take a peek inside and open it up, you would see that it looked like stacks of green coins. They're called thylakoids, for those of you that really want to know. And what they do is they increase surface area so more photosynthesis can take place. So the more thylakoids, the more coin stacks, the better, because that will make the most photosynthesis. So here we go. So the water, all my ingredients here. The water comes together with the carbon dioxide, and then at the chloroplast, in the presence of sunlight, the sunlight shines down and gets all of these molecules very, very excited. And when they do, I'm going to drum roll. Ta-da! Sugar is made. Amazing, right? Sugar is also, glucose is also C6H12O6. So when you take these molecules and recombine them, it makes sugar. Sugar is going to serve as the basis for our food systems. This is their energy, basically. Sugar is energy. You've heard you go like one of those sugar rushes and you have lots of energy. Well, that's because sugar provides us with energy and provides plants with energy. They make their own energy. That's crazy, right? They can make their own food through photosynthesis. So this sugar is then going to be taken to all the parts of the plants with these little tubes called phloem. Takes them anywhere they need to go. Sometimes they get stored, like sweet potatoes. You have a lot of extra sugar stored in the roots or carrots. Sometimes the sugar just goes to the leaves in order to make energy for the plant. But the sugar is used in the plant, gets stored in the leaves, in the stems, in the roots. And the other thing that is made is oxygen. Woo! This is awesome because this is what we totally need to exist. Without oxygen, we can't exist for more than like 4 minutes. And this is a waste product of plants. How lucky for us. So when the plant makes oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis, whatever it doesn't need, it breathes out through the leaf mouths called stomata. So there it goes. Woo! Out the oxygen goes through these leaf mouths and photosynthesis occurs. I think it's time for a wardrobe change. We're going to go from solar power to the structure that allows cellular respiration to occur. All right, so we're back. Let's talk about what happens to that sugar next. So if you're a plant, you could just jump right into this process of cellular respiration because you've already made your sugar. But if you're any other organism, like an animal, like me, you need to eat in order to get that energy. So let's say I were to take a bite of this apple. Now, this apple is stored sugar. This apple tree put its extra sugar that it made in photosynthesis into this apple, and it is going to provide me with lots of fuel, right? So if I were to take a bite of the apple, there we go. I got some sugar. My digestive system is going to take that sugar, it's going to break it down into my stomach and then into my small intestine, and then that sugar is going to get absorbed into my bloodstream and taken to any cell in my body that needs it, okay? In addition, while I'm eating, the other thing I'm doing is breathing. And when I breathe in air from the environment around me, it's going to contain a higher level of oxygen. So that oxygen is going to go into my lungs, and it is going to jump right through the walls of these special little things called alveoli. You learned about this in health class. It's going to jump right into the bloodstream, and it's going to be taken to any cell that needs energy. So we have sugar from the apple. We have oxygen from the air that I breathed in. And when these two things get to a cell that needs energy, they go to a special organelle called the mighty mitochondria. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell because this is where cellular respiration occurs. If we were to take a peek inside of this kidney bean shaped organelle, we would find that it had a lot of folds in it. These are called cristae. Again, for those of you that want a little extra knowledge, these little folds increase surface area, just like the chloroplast, so that more energy can be made. Now, cellular energy is known as ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So anytime you're talking about cellular energy, you're going to refer to it as ATP. That's what's going to be made. Now, why do we need ATP? For everything. Everything that requires work or energy in the body needs ATP. And you make that by mixing sugar and by mixing oxygen in the mitochondria. And when that happens, you make energy. Woo! Lots of energy to do whatever it is that you need. That's ATP. Anything like that is going to be made with mixing these things together. The other thing that you are going to make is carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is a waste product. It's like a poison to your body. You can't accumulate too much of it or you'll be very, very sick. So in order to get rid of it, you breathe it out and the carbon dioxide goes out into the air. The other final product that is made is water. This water can be used for other cellular reactions, but whatever excess water is made, you can either lose it through urination or you can lose it through sweating. That's cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Did you notice I used some of the same things in photosynthesis and some of the same things in cellular respiration? Both use water, both use carbon dioxide, both use oxygen. Sunlight is used in order to make photosynthesis occur, but in the end, it turns out to be ATP. These processes are like symbiosis. They work together. Your assessment for this week is going to be for you to show me that symbiosis. I want you to take my sunlight on a special adventure, and I want you to show me through a process of all the different things that it comes in contact to in order to eventually make ATP. The description is in the slideshow, so definitely reach out if you have any questions. I want to give you to Monday to complete this so that you have the weekend, but feel free to reach out at any time. That's photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Loving the mitochondria, loving the sun. I'm hoping you're enjoying your week. Again, reach out with questions. I'll see you in a Google Meet on Wednesday or not. Totally up to you. Otherwise, I hope you're staying safe and being healthy. Bye.